matchup here on a Monday night between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. And we are underway in Buffalo. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. They start the drive with Cook. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Allen. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now Allen. Being chased out left. Oh, he'll try and throw it deep to the other side of the field. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Now that's a tough throw because he's moving to his left. He's got to get his shoulders pointed back right to throw it all the way across field to try and connect. Unable to do so.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this returnable for Hill. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And it'll be Dolphin football. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Rodgers now on 1st down. His throw incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. They only need a yard here. Third down and 1 after the penalty. And they'll run on the inside handoff. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first down, Rodgers. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Sidney Jones. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Slot man moves right. So after the INT, it's Allen. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
Tap forward by Allen on the jet sweep. Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. His 8th rushing touchdown, his 12th overall. And the Bills take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to air one out for Anderson. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
But they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Throwing on 2nd down. Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Channing Tindall. He's the one who runs him down, and my goodness, that is just a disastrous loss for this offense. Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this 1st down. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Here's Hill on the return. That'll go as a 42-yard punt. They'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On 4th down, Dom Maggio out to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. ready to go for their next drive. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top two teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
On second down, Cook. And he stopped immediately there. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Allen on third. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up fourth down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Allen going to go on fourth down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. First down, here's the run with Cook. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 10 yards, good enough for Buffalo first down. The Bills sitting at 5-2 on the year, and they come in on a good run, winners of 5 of their last 7.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Option play, here's Cook. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
They'll give to Cook on the read option. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Diggs going in motion right. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. Touchdown, Bills! Mecole Hardman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bills have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. To try again after the sack. Rodgers, he's got long. His tight end complete.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Here's Rodgers. To the right side, and he's got more complete. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. They'll try and run for it. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. I love those plays. 4th and 1, that's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Now pass complete to Moore. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Working with a 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stretched the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
44 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bills will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And this is caught. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 2nd and 12, Allen. It's complete to Diggs. And they're going to get this up to midfield. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he is going to have the Bills first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. The kick by Bass is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park, where the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers completes it to the tight end, Smythe. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Rodgers going to throw. Steps away to his left. He's going to look deep for more. And this one is incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Forced out to his left. And his throw is incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
In motion, Hill.
26. Come out. Hey, 26.
Rodgers to throw for it on fourth. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Teron Johnson able to pick it.
I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team is struggling to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So the interception set him up a terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. That's going to be caught downfield by Hill. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Now it's Rodgers. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken from about the 12. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
In motion goes the tight end. Now on 2nd and 13. Allen finding his target. It's Trey McBride. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He's got the hook up with Diggs. Stephon Diggs trying to tiptoe the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Allen now on the sneak, and they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook with his second touchdown of the night, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Allen will try to throw for it. They'll roll him out right. This is caught. Was he in? Yes. 2 points. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard. Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 32-yard line. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Bills are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. So after the INT, it's Allen. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football back. It's time to run out in this third quarter of play. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. after the INT. It's Rodgers. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Robbie Anderson. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From the 10. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They will find Davis. That's complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. Now Hill to return it. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. On 1st down, Rodgers. And he'll just get rid of it. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
On play action. Rodgers. He's going to look deep for more. And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. DJ Moore, 62 yards. And the Dolphins have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
Jason Sanders, the kickoff.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. This game is really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. 44 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, now Rodgers. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Bills are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation. And taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Here's Cook again, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the 1st down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Third down, here's a run by Cook. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Bills send the punter out as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Watch out for Hill on the return. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the 1st down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is. Back to throw, Rodgers. Throwing left side, it's complete. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
To throw is Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost them.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. Sanders now to add the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. From the 10. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Allen. That's complete. It's Cook. And they'll get him down after a gain of 7, but they'll happily give him that. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. Allen. He's got McBride here over the middle. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. So all eyes now on Tyler Bass. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This from Tom Dempsey range here. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So it's the Dolphins who are going to get the football first here as we are back underway now in overtime. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You think back to halftime, they were close to being written off. They faced the deficit, and now here's we begin overtime. They're one drive away from a comeback victory.
Think about where they started and how far they've come back from. And look, you and I both know that when we talk with coaches, most of the time they don't say that momentum is something that factors into how they coach a ball game, because they say each game is its own entity. But within a game, I think they all believe in momentum, and they certainly have it going on their direction right now.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
But they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line. Here's a handoff out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. In motion, Hill. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance. You got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct, because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. Sanders' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Taken from about the 12. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone, because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
What can Allen do now with his drive? Escaping the pressure right. A gritty play there. Put his nose down and got his guys a first.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain. So when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
Throwing is Allen. And that's complete to Davis. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
It's a gain of 11. That's another Bills. First down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Allen. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. And just a yard to go here on second down. Here's Allen. Pass to the right, and he's got McBride. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Looking to throw on second down. Allen. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Well, Charles, I know you have a lot of questions, so do I, about the decision there at the end. They had the potential game-time field goal. Yes, it would have been a long field goal, but they passed it up, and they lose the game.
And you're right, partner. We all have questions, but I don't think anyone's going to ask the question more forcefully than the person who signs the checks for the entire organization. Why didn't you run the field goal kicker out there? You had a chance to tie the game. Looked like a makeable kick. Was the kicker hurt? Did you just not like the field conditions? This head coach is going to have a heck of an explanation.
So for the Dolphins, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week.
Yeah. Hold up, it ain't easy breaking no